as we
Nice
speak.
Keith's, Moosehead.
Yeah, it's all happening.
Alpine, yeah.
I've never met anyone who's been on Jeopardy before.
Yeah.
So I have a specific Jeopardy question. I can't figure out how people, without knowing the answer, wager daily doubles. I have no idea what makes someone wager $5 or do I love the true daily double.
Yeah.
Or what makes people wager at all. Is there an agreed upon Jeopardy champion daily double strategy?
So if you watch the show a lot, like you will notice, no, there is not. Like, I mean, there is an objectively correct game theory type thing to do if you are a very strong player, which is that you should go big. Because basically the idea is like, if you have, say, like an above 80% get rate on daily doubles.
Get rate means?
Like the likelihood that you're going to know any given daily double is like over 80%, right? So if you go back and like look at my statistics from my original run, I think I was answering like between 80 and 85% of daily doubles correctly, which was way more than I thought when I went on the show I was going to be able to do. If that's like what your batting average, so to speak, is, the sort of correct thing to do to maximize your probability of winning a game, getting a big advantage, is to go big on a daily double. Where you see people sometimes do the smaller wagers is for one of two reasons. One is that they're just not that confident or like don't really know the game theory behind it. And Jeopardy until very recently, like, was not at all like a professionalized game that people had sort of solved. Like people weren't moneyballing it. And so, I mean, I wasn't moneyballing it when I was first on the show. You see, I was wagering off in like $2,000, $3,000, even when I had a huge lead and could have really padded my earnings. And it hurts me a little bit to know I could have won so much more money if I had had a bit more faith in myself. So that's one reason people go small. The other is that sometimes if you have a really big advantage, you want to secure like a runaway game. So if you're in first place and you have more than double the second place players score going into Final Jeopardy, you basically have just put the game away at that point. And so if you're already in that position and it's like the third daily double of the game, you might want to make a smaller wager so that if you're wrong, you still are in that like advantageous spot. But yeah, like, I mean, when you see somebody like James Holzhauer do these like crazy all-in daily doubles, it's because it's the right thing to do.
Right.
And yeah, like the people who don't do that either are just not as confident, rightly or wrongly. Like sometimes it's that they have an accurate assessment that they're not going to know something and so they want to go small. But sometimes it's like they really should be going big and they're just like naturally uncomfortable with wagering large amounts of money, dollars, points, whatever, because it's like not a situation most people ever find themselves in.
Right, they're not natural gamblers.
No, exactly. Yeah, like, you know, James is like a weird case because he was a professional sports gambler before he was on the show.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but for me,